Good morning or afternoon, 8th grade students. Today we are looking at number 73, 6 to the bar. The first thing that you should do with this one is look at the key signature, and then you should look at the key signature again. And then you should notice that this one is andante, which means walking speed or medium slow. And then notice that it's in 6/8 time. And then after you've noticed those things, you should look back at the key signature. And now you should look at measure 2 at what that note's going to be. And then you should look at the key signature again. And before we move on, look at the key signature one more time, and then also look at it again. This is going to be in the key of concert A flat, which is not a key that we play in very frequently. It's interesting to me that the publishers of this book would choose to teach us 6/8 time at the same time that they're putting us in a relatively unfamiliar key, but we'll do the best we can. So this is 6/8 time. If you note from a couple of days ago, we have been playing tunes that were in 3/8. So that means that the 8th note is going to get the beat, and there are 3 beats per measure. Now in this one, 6/8, that is going to mean that there are now 6 beats per measure, and the 8th note gets the beat. So this is pretty much the same as 3/8, except for 3, it's going to be 6 now. Now the way that that works out mathematically, 1, 2, 3, and then of course we know a dotted quarter note has 3 eighth notes within it, 1, 2, 3, so that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then this dotted half note is going to be new. This is something that was not possible when we were playing in 3/8 time. In 6/8 time, you can have an entire measure taken up by one dotted half note, and if you do the math, the dotted half note would be extrapolated. If you were to pull it apart and dissect a dotted half note, it would take up the same amount of space as 6 eighth notes, or 3 beats if we were in another time signature. So that would be 6 eighth notes. So going through here, notice that you have these dotted quarter notes. They're going to be 3 beats apiece, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 6 beats here again. Now, what's interesting about andante here is that it's not talking about andante as in the speed of your eighth notes, because if we were to play andante eighth notes, that would be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, and that even would actually be a little bit slow, or a little bit quick for andante. So the andante is actually referring to how fast your dotted quarter notes are going to be. So when we're playing in 6/8 time, it's traditional, if we're going fast enough, instead of thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you take every 3 beats and consolidate it into one dotted quarter note, and those are the things that we count. Okay? Now, if that's too much information for you, you can always think as you're counting 6/8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But notice that every 3 beats is kind of taken into one downbeat. So think about that grouping of 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you're doing that, instead of tapping your foot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you would tap it once for every 3 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if you're doing that, you're actually tapping your foot to the dotted quarter notes there. So at this tempo, that would be dot, 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 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 3, 4, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then so on and so forth. So that is a lot of explanation for something that honestly is easier for you to play by feel. So just think of groupings of 3 and you'll be okay. And then before we actually play this together, look at the key signature like, I don't know, 6 more times and make sure that you're ready to play a concert D flat here in measure number 2.